So this happens. Rupture rates can vary depending on which study and which series of patients you're looking at. It depends on what type of implant you have. If you have a saline or saltwater implant, deflation typically tends to declare itself within a day or two. You basically have sterile salt water, the same salt water or saline that people get into their intravenous lines when they go to sleep for surgery, comes out of the implant and gets absorbed by your body, and soon enough you'll pee it out. The left is very flat compared to the right, or vice versa. That's what tends to happen with saline implants, and that happens pretty quickly. And if you're looking at a silicone implant past 20 years, the cohesiveness of silicone is such that it tends to keep its shape. So unlike silicone implants from the 70s and 80s, where silicone would ooze out like molasses through the edge of a ruptured implant, and you'd get like a ball of silicone here, and your body would wall that off. Today's implants tend to keep their shape. So most patients don't know that the implant is ruptured. It tends to be an incidental finding. You don't have to do anything. It's not a dangerous situation. Most patients obviously want something done about it. So in the case of a saline implant, the management depends on time of presentation. So I tell my patients that have saline implants, if you think one side is deflating, let me know as soon as possible, because the implant starts to deflate, so does the scar layer around it. And if you don't address it till a week or two later, by that point, that scar layer has collapsed, and doing a simple switch or removal of the existing torn implant with a new implant, that tends to become more of a to-do, because now you have to release the scar layer again. So if someone presents with a ruptured saline implant, it's obvious in clinic, and we happen to have the implant on hand, often just under local anesthetic, we can just inject that incision line, remove the ruptured implant, and put a new one back in. With silicone implants, the rupture tends to be silent. Some patients will present and they might feel they have symptoms that are related to the ruptured implant. Most patients are unaware of it, and for what it's worth, patients that have breast implant illness type symptoms, most often their implants are intact. Presenting with a ruptured silicone implant, will counsel you that you can just leave it be. If you do want it replaced, that can be done as well. Again, either under local anesthetic, which tends to be a bit of a to-do, but if you think you can sit still and not move your arms for 45 minutes or so, that can happen. Alternatively, we put patients to sleep, reopen the incision, take out the ruptured implant. We tend to have to do a bit of an antibiotic washout to make sure that none of the leaked silicone remains in the pocket, and then just put a new one back in.